WandaVision episode 5. I've done a little bit different with the format this time. I've taken a few pages of notes while rewatching the episode. So I'm just going to go through them. I'll pop little bits on the side, maybe here, just kind of so we can go through it bit by bit. I'll try and stick it all together as much as I can. But yeah, episode 5, that had a lot to kind of live up to after the kind of big reveals of the previous episodes. There was a lot going in episode 4. It was quite a climactic ending. And so episode 5 really had a lot to follow through with that. And you know what? I think it did a pretty good job of doing that. Episode 5 is probably my favorite episode so far. It's definitely taken the whole show up a notch since the previous episode. And that has a lot to do with what's happening. So let's start with the twins, Billy and Tommy. It's quite apparent from early on that Wanda doesn't have any control over the twins. In the beginning, she tries to use her magic to try and put the babies to sleep. Doesn't work.
So, go to sleep, my babies.
And then we see throughout the episode that the twins pretty much have a mind of their own. They do what they want. They age themselves up throughout the episode. They do things without Wanda really knowing about it. They get the dogs. They seem to have this connection between themselves that on a surface level just seems like a brotherly twins thing. But I think there's some kind of level below that where they have some kind of understanding of what's happening as a whole. I have the feeling that they know what's going on with the sitcom world and that things aren't right. They seem to have some level of control over the anomaly themselves. Is that an extension of Billy, I think it is, being Wiccan, who having very similar powers to his mother? Is it a case that they are free of Wanda's control? Are they being manipulated by someone to try and manipulate Wanda? Are they in some way, have not been made by Wanda and have instead been created by someone that might be trying to hijack Wanda? They do seem to have some kind of awareness of what's going on in this universe. Did they plant the seed of bringing people back? Is that the plan of whoever is trying to hijack Wanda's powers, hijack this anomaly and what's happening? Are they trying to bring Wanda back? It seems like people in the universe are hinting to Wanda, resurrect. You resurrected Vision, did she? Resurrect the dog, resurrect someone else. I think the twins are playing a part in that, and I think maybe Agnes is playing a part in that. I still don't think that Wanda isn't the main villain. Still don't think this isn't Wanda's doing. I think it's all her still. But I do think that someone is trying to take advantage of this situation, and they're taking advantage of the fact that Wanda is struggling to cope at the moment, and they're using that to use Wanda as a means to an end. And I think that has something to do with resurrection. I think someone is attempting to use Wanda's abilities to alter reality. And as we've seen in the episodes, the altered realities stay the same. They stay in that altered state because she's that powerful at the moment. And I think someone is trying to hijack that and use that to bring someone back, either into our world or back to life. Previously shouldn't be able to enter our world. Going along with that, Agnes, she seems to have some awareness of this as well. We had that scene at the beginning where Vision started questioning what was happening, and in a very uncomfortable scene, Agnes wanted to redo her lines.
Do you want me to take that again?
I'm sorry?
It was extremely uncomfortable. All of the sound cut out of the show. The baby stopped crying. Background noise cut out. Music cut out. The laugh track cut out. It was a very uncomfortable scene of Agnes just being like, should I do my eyes again? Do you want me to hold the babies? Do you not? I don't know what I'm doing here. And she seems to be one of the only characters outside of the twins and Vision who are in this world and have some real idea of what's going on. And I think that's because she is part of this system that is attempting to manipulate Wanda into certain actions. My immediate thought when the twins aged up was that her spraying lavender over them and to find alcohol wasn't her trying to put them to sleep. It was her attempting to cast some kind of spell over them. And I think that maybe because I've heard some of the rumours of her being Agatha Harkness, a witch from the comics who gave Wanda some powers, or how to use her magic. So I wonder if maybe there's that coming into play. I did think at first, is she casting a spell or something over these twins to make them fit in more in this world? Then they aged, and it had been going through the episode that it was the boys themselves that were aging, so I put that in the back of my mind. But then we have a scene later on where Agnes finds Sparky, the dog that the twins find later on in the episode. She finds him in her azalea bushes, and it's a weird kind of rustling in the trees, and then she raises up, she's got him in a blanket. Sparky has died because he's eaten so many azalea leaves. Now that struck me as quite weird and quite a constructed situation for them to be in. It seemed very forced, very awkward, almost as if the whole situation had been set up by Agnes, and by an extension, perhaps the twins, if they are even indirectly working towards the same agenda. Kids find Sparky. As Vision's testing the reality, which will be a little bit later on, Agnes shows up with a kennel for the dog, forcing the hand of Wanda and Vision, and to a lesser extent the kids, to age up again, so that the dog can be kept. Dog being kept then leads on to dog being killed. I think Agnes killed the dog on purpose. Brings up the conversation of resurrection. The implication from kids and Agnes in this kind of not knowing what's going on. The kid's like, "You're powerful, mummy. You can bring Sparky back, no problem. Bring him back. It's cool. Bring him back. It's fine." And it's pushing this agenda again of use your powers to resurrect. They imply that she uses powers to resurrect Vision. Now it's saying use these on a dog. Well, what's next? She'd used it on Sparky. Who would they be trying to convince her to resurrect next? And I think that ties into something that comes on later on, and we'll speak about that when we get to it. So moving on in the episode, we start to see what's happening in the real world with Monica. Something's going on with her. Her X-rays aren't working properly. The blood test results aren't coming back properly. What's happened to her?
We're gonna need to take these again. There's something wrong with the machine.
Those are blank.
Like I said.
Has being inside the anomaly, has been interacting with Wanda so close, or some kind of activation of powers. Has she got mutant powers that have been activated? Something's going on. I'd like to see what's going on with there. And then let's get on to Wanda. So first kind of thing I wanted to mention was, in my last episode I mentioned that I believed Wanda to be around her early 20s at this point. And I had a little snooping online, and that seems to be where people were guesstimating her age to be based on some of the dialogue in Civil War and Age of Ultron, based in the kind of timeline of Stark technology and them being kind of tortured by the Stark bomb as children, quite young, coming into their powers. They'd been experimented on for years, but it hadn't been a super long amount of time. But in this episode, they revealed that Wanda was born in 1989, which makes her 32. It didn't gel with what we had heard previously, although we'd never had anything specified. I had a moment when I was like, oh, really? She's 32? Okay, cool, fine, whatever. I think I preferred that she was younger and didn't have the emotional maturity to deal with this situation. I think it would have had a lot more impact on her if all of these things had happened to her at such a young age in such a short amount of time. But to moot point, whatever, it's fine. Then we would get the reveal that Wanda broke into the sword facility, fucked some shit up, and stole Vision's corpse. And it's only been 9 days since that happened. I thought that was cool. I'm really hoping that in an episode or two's time we get to see that from Wanda's perspective instead of on some grainy CCTV footage. I would love to see her breaking into sword, fighting off all the guards, and recovering Vision's corpse. Is it because she is just so grief-stricken she wants Vision back no matter what? Or is it because this manipulation of her powers has started earlier? I'm interested to know. I'm hoping it's just like she's so grief-stricken, or she's so concerned that nefarious things are happening with Vision's corpse that she goes and takes it upon herself to recover Vision, and then it kind of slips into this, oh, well, I've got him now, you know, I need to protect him, I need to have a nice life with him. And that kicks things off. I really like that scene. Sticking onto the subject of Wanda, she seems to have had a massive power-up, altering reality on a scale hitherto unseen. It is crazy. They state in the episode that Wanda's powers have mainly been temporary reality altering by altering people's perceptions, their mind, and using her abilities as an extension of being a telepath. They talk about how Wanda was powerful enough to almost defeat Thanos by herself until he ordered down his strike in Endgame, which is something I want to get onto a little bit later on. She's pretty much ridiculously powerful at this point. It's awesome. And speaking of awesome Wanda scenes, we have that amazing scene where after Shield, I keep calling it Shield, where after Sword is fucking stupid and tries to attack her with a drone, she brings the broken husk of that drone out of the anomaly, throws it down in front of Sword, and is basically just says, don't fuck with me because I will fuck you up. It's amazing. I might put a little snippet in here, but it was so cool.
This will be your only warning. Stay out of my home. You don't bother me, I won't bother you.
Seeing Wanda in that I have control mode, I'm the boss here, don't mess with me, that was awesome. And I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of boss mode Wanda as the show goes on. In ending that scene, she souped up the anomaly. I'm guessing that it's no longer something that can be souped in. It's got that red Wanda power glow to it now. So I'm assuming that means she's done something to it to stop people entering as more of an actual shield as opposed to just an energy shield and a perception altering device. So like I said, in terms of what's happening here, I still don't think Wanda is being controlled. I don't think anyone's done this to Wanda necessarily. I think Wanda is struggling. She's gone to retrieve Vision. She's not been able to cope with it. It's led to this situation. She doesn't know how it started because she's not thought about it, you know? She says she doesn't know how it started. She says she doesn't know how she's got into this situation. It wasn't her fault. I don't think she's necessarily lying about that. I think she just doesn't remember. She's suppressing the fact that it's her doing this. She's suppressing the fact that she is the one that's in control and she's the one that is doing these not evil but dark things. And that comes from even more so when we get onto Vision. Now, Vision, if he doesn't feature as much as Wanda in this episode, but when he does feature, it's powerful stuff because everything that Vision does in this episode, him figuring out and breaking down the illusion of Westview. He tests out TV tropes by purposely calling things out that he knows in a TV world would cause someone to arrive or would cause something to happen in the world to react to what he's saying or what he's doing.
Oh, it's just a precaution, really. I had a hunch someone might pop over.
Hi, kiddos!
With exactly the item we require.
I thought that was a clever way of him kind of prying little bits of information. He starts questioning things at first, questioning the behavior of Agnes when she starts to freak out about repeating her lines. He then starts to test the water a little bit. And then when his work is connected to the internet, we see a message from S.H.I.E.L.D. get through the internet into Westview. Would he communicate back? You know, it was interesting seeing that message, realizing that yes, there is definitely something up now, and communicating with Norm. And then he gets more of a sense of, you need to stop her, something's going on, like, please stop her, you have to stop her. You're the only one who can, it's horrible what she's doing. I think a lot of people question whether it is actually Wanda that's controlling them. But I think we had confirmed in the previous episode that it is Wanda. We've got Monica who's been in there and has come out, and she's confirmed it was Wanda in her head. I think it's going to be starting to get into convoluted territory if we end up on the fact that, well, maybe it wasn't Wanda, maybe it was someone pretending to be Wanda. It's just too many layers. It's just Wanda. Speaking of Vision, we end up with this awesome scene of Wanda versus Vision. It's awkward, but it's powerful. Vision is trying to confront Wanda about what's going on. He wants to know what she's doing, why she's doing it. He wants her to stop, free these people, to free him. He's scared. He's more human than we've ever seen him. He's terrified of what is happening, what Wanda is doing, what the future holds for him, and why he can't remember any of his life.
I can't remember my life before Westview. I don't know who I am. I'm scared.
But Wanda doesn't want any of it. She wants to hide. She wants to protect him. She tries to force the episode to end by forcing credits. And in this really uncomfortable scene, Vision just continues to say, no, I want to know answers through the credits. It's a great scene, great way of building that tension. Wanda is clearly disturbed by Vision's free will, his need to find out what's going on, but she seems hesitant or unable to force him to do anything different. Is Wanda lying about her involvement in this? I don't think she is. I don't think she's lying. I think she just doesn't know. And then we end the episode on the ending of all endings, doorbell rings, and holy fucking shit, it is Quicksilver from the X-Men franchise at the door.
Long lost bro, get to squeeze his stinking sister to death or what?
It's directly referenced that it is Pietro. He has been recast by Wanda. Is he real? Is it an alternate universe version of him? Is it a manifestation of the sitcom trope and he's just been visibly altered to fit into that trope of the brother coming back? Did Wanda bring him back? You know, was it her need to have him back, her talking about him in the episode, that subconsciously she's brought him back? Was it the twins? Did the twins know and sense that their mother was hurt over his death still, that she was struggling with it, she missed him and wanted him back, and so brought him back, but not having known what he looks like, who he is, they've put a Quicksilver that they could find, but it's not our Quicksilver, it's a Quicksilver from an alternate universe. Does this confirm X-Men? Will we see more? Speaking of X-Men, we get a mention of an aerospace engineer that Reed Richards. Is WandaVision going to be this nexus point for all of the future involvement of Marvel properties. Will we get X-Men? Will we get Reed Richards? I am still banking 100% we will get a Doctor Strange cameo. I think they're going to feel the need at some point to fight magic with magic and bring in Doctor Strange, and that's going to help tie into more of the multiverse stuff, setting us up for Doctor Strange 2, for Spider-Man 3. But yeah, this was a big episode. It was a fantastic episode. I'm looking forward to see what's happening next. We've got a few more episodes. I think we've got 4 or 5 episodes left. We've only got 1 or 2 more decades of sitcoms to get through, so I think within the next couple of episodes we're going to be hitting modern day. Things are going to be less sitcom-y, more actiony. Vision's going to continue to push, going to continue to try and find out what's going on. We're going to start to get more multiverse hijinks. We're going to start to get more MCU properties coming to the fold. We're going to get more reveals of, is this Wanda's doing? Is this manipulation? Is this a mixture of both? I would be perfectly happy with it being Wanda's doing, her suppressing her thoughts and feelings about it, her suppressing the fact that it is actually her doing it, apart from these vague few moments of clarity where it's being threatened and she goes into boss mode, or there's an intruder and she has to go into protection mode, as we've seen in these 2 episodes. I don't want it to be someone necessarily manipulating Wanda completely. I would be okay with it being someone trying to hijack what's happening and use it for their own means. We are going to get a Mephisto type character, this kind of devilish, roguish, impish demon creature, try and manipulate her for their own means. I think it would be much more interesting for it to be a character that's working in the background and taking advantage of this situation, giving the children free will, throwing Agnes in there and having them subtly through words and actions manipulate Wanda, instead of it being directly Wanda's possessed, Wanda's being manipulated, Wanda's doing this in return for Vision. Very exciting things coming up, very exciting future for the show. Looking forward to the next episode. Let me know in the comments below whether you think Pietro is real. Is he from our universe? Is he resurrected? Is he alternate universe? Is he an illusion? Will he be gone in a few episodes and never to return? Is it just a hint of the multiverse, or is this them bringing Pietro into our universe for good? We'd love to hear your thoughts on the episode. Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this little review, discussion, talk over what's gone on in the episode, let me know. These are my thoughts and feelings. I've tried to organize them a little bit more. We're getting there. It's still a learning curve for me. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that cool jazz. Thank you very much.